Hey guys, it's Mike, Pro Steel Products. Today I'm going to be trimming the inner panels, which I promised you I'd have a bunch of videos this weekend and get them listed. So you know how to take care of these doors to get them off easy. This is the most painful part of these doors, is trimming that inner plastic. And this is kind of the size of piece you're going to be taking out to gain access to those the hinges, so you can get the door off within seconds. Believe me, if there was a different way, I'd be doing it, but it really isn't too bad. Once the door's shut, you can barely notice. So yeah, you'll be the judge of that. But to get these doors off real quick, easy, you're gonna have to trim it. And I'm gonna be stopping the camera, reposition it so you get a good view of what I'm doing. I'm going to use a utility knife. You can use a Dremel or something like that, but the speed of that Dremel, watch it doesn't melt this plastic. So I just don't feel like getting the Dremel out and plugging it in. I use a utility knife and a white stick just to mark where I want to cut. It works out pretty good. So let me get the camera repositioned and I'll show you what I'm going to do and where I'm going to mark it at. Alright guys, I'm going to try and do this by holding the camera and you know, showing you exactly where to mark this. But this is kind of the piece of plastic you're going to take out. You want to go right on the edge of this bolt. I'm going to try and get you a shot down in right there. You can see that piece of plastic. Let me use this to point it. How it cones out. That's where this bolt goes in. Okay. Just cut right above it. Yeah, we're going to mark it all the way across, go straight down. You'll see the marks after we get done marking it, but to cut it, just take your time, don't cut yourself. And one thing I want to mention is this speaker is in there. Kawasaki, you did it again. You put Teflon nuts on the back of those bolts so you can't get the speaker out. So that's I don't like taking these door panels apart. It's a pain. But you see this speaker wire right here. I'm going to put these quick plugs in so you can take the door off, just unplug it. Completely waterproof, snaps together. I might try and find some thinner wire, a different plug that's a little smaller, that is still waterproof. So you just unplug it, take your door off, away you go. And for the guys with the subwoofer stereo system, I'm going to try and come up with some pods that'll mount on the top of the roll cage underneath the roof. That way when you take these doors off, you're still going to have music even if you run without doors, or you use my door gates. Either way, you're going to have your speakers. I did find some Polk Audio speakers. Polk Audio is pretty good. So I might go that route, but it's still in the works. But anyway, let me position this camera and I'll show you how I mark it out. Okay guys, this is the camera's just sitting on the seat, so I'm hoping it's gonna be okay. But basically, this is the top of the hinge. You want to make sure you have enough area to get a needle nose pliers or something, or your fingers up there to pick up on that pin. And the pin's going to go up through this panel to get it out. Really, it sounds complicated, but it really isn't. So anyway, I'm going to go probably about the length of this finger, and you're going to just put about here's how you're going to do it. And I always keep putting my finger back to make sure I ain't going to be touching anything. And then you want to line up with the edge of this hole here when you get to this point. And then you're going to go straight down. Okay, I'm just putting little dots because it'd be easier to clean after it's done, because some of them might be remaining. And just dot it all the way down here and kind of make a turn. I'll probably do that kind of turn just to make it. But here's that other piece that you have to stay above. Okay, so once you go to this part, then you're going to trim right up the edge. And this one, you're going to trim right down the edge and leave the material on this side. So once you get through that, then that piece will come out. The hinge will be all exposed, and you'll be able to get to them pins. I am this speaker wire, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and then put the plug in, and that way it'll be always back here where you just plug it in. When you put your doors back on, you'll be able to use these speakers. There is going to be, like I said, the pods up above. We'll run it down through the roll bar, and there'll be a plug out here, so you'll have two plugs with a single plug coming out to where you can switch speakers, whichever one you want to go. Unplug this, take the door off, plug in the overhead speakers, and use those. Don't know about using both of them at the same time. Might be a good thing, I don't know. But if somebody does it and it sounds good, let me know. Okay, let me go get a knife, and I'll show you how to cut this, and be careful. Hopefully I don't cut myself. Okay, first of all, if you stick your finger up behind here, you'll see that push pin's in the way, so you don't really want to cut it. So just pull that one out, and we'll deal with that. We'll put it back in later. So you just pull that out, set it aside. That way the knife, it'll make this a little weaker, but everything will be fine, believe me. Now I use this all the way out. You can pull it in or whichever way you think is best, but basically it's easier to go down and up. You don't want to come up and cut your face. So what I usually do is just get it started, is you just push and rock, and it will go in. Okay, it's hard to do with the camera. I'm trying to keep the view in order, but do not get your fingers in the path of that. In case it does that, see, it kind of took off on me, but yeah. Oop. Just keep pushing it in and rocking it, and it actually cut all the way through there, so that's good. And then come back this way. If you give it some rocks and use the back of the blade to kind of help you cut, it'll work. You got to be careful, because every once in a while this knife just tends to just take off on you, so you don't want to cut any more than you want, and just keep rocking it. Take your time. I mean, if you're in a hurry, I'd do it another day. But once you come over to your close, see if I could show you, about right there, and then I'm going to do a 45 cut down this way and then go down. So take the blade out, put it in at a 45, just so it isn't a 90-degree turn. I think the 45s will look better, so just keep it rocking till you get it in, and go to the edge where you're going to go down. So you can see you come across and then down that 45. Now you're going to follow these dots all the way down to this 45. So this is where I think when I cut mine out, this is where I had the problem where it took off on me and I went down a little too far. So just apply a little pressure and just keep rocking it. And it's hard to see out here in the sunlight, but because I got my glasses on, I'm getting some glare, but hopefully you guys are seeing what's going on. And you just keep rocking them back and forth. It'll go. Now right here, I'm going to pull it out. You're right on the edge of this bolt here. That's where that plastic comes out. Okay, so it might get a little tough if you get too far over, but just keep rocking it and you'll get through it. It's back and forth. Okay, I'm past the hole already. Okay, let me pull it out again, and I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to try and straighten that up, do a good job. This is like a brand new machine here. It's 179 miles on it, so I even called the guy again. I says, your last chance, I'm going to trim your plastic out, and he says, go for it, just make it look good. So I'm taking my time, and okay, now I got a little bit off, but you can always trim this after you get this out. It's a lot easier to trim than to go straight into it. So once I get down to that 45, pull that out, and I'm going to cut back this way a little bit, because you see I got that little hump I want this to be straight, make it look good. So I'm going to go back to here on this 45 and push it in. Sorry this is taking so long, but you don't want to rush it. And hopefully you guys will figure this out and be happy with it. But if you're not comfortable with trimming this plastic out, good luck on taking these door panels apart. That's all I gotta say. I don't want to do that ever again. And being these speakers are in there, that's why I was going to take the speaker wires off. But nope, not going to do it, because I don't want to take this panel apart, because I did it once and I ain't going to do it again. So some of you guys might think it's no part of a job, but patience, you know, that's what it takes. So when you start getting to the edge, you want to slow down a little bit and make sure you don't cut all the way through. So well, hold the door too so it doesn't shut on you. But once you get all the way over to the edge, then you can stop right there. Now you got everything cut out, I think. Maybe I missed a piece up in here somewhere. Yeah, up in the corner. That's alright, it'll hold it in place. But you can see there's a tab back here. You want to be right on the edge of that tab, so this line, don't pay attention to that one. You're going to be in a little bit, and you can follow that line because you can see it. I'll show you here once I get this cut. And just keep going back and forth. I think yeah, it did. Okay, so now you just find where it wasn't all the way cut. Like right here's where I redid it. There you go. There's another part up here. Okay, and then another part right here. And try and go up. Okay, there's one little part hanging on somewhere. Well, I cut through that. Yeah, this is where it took off on me, if you remember. This is kind of dangerous because it's almost done. And it's tough. Tough plastic. So, once you rock it back and forth, you should be able to get through it there. See how I cut that right through that hole? That was right where that pin was going to go. The push pin. Okay. So basically you can see you got access to the pin now. Okay, you can get your fingers up in there, pull my pins out. These have that C-clip. I hate those things. I'm going to try and get that out, and then we're going to mark off the bottom. The bottom has an extra piece that you have to take out. It's let me try and grab this camera and I'll show you that. Right here, we're right on top of that. Okay, that bolt's loose. Looky there. I can tighten that up. Brand new machine. They forgot to tighten the bolt. But anyway, the push pin's going to go back in there. This one, this is what I wanted to show you. The bottom one, this flat area right here. You're going to need the bottom of the pin, so you're going to take this little tab off right here. Okay, so let me pause now and I'll try and mark this one out and show you how I marked it, and then if you want to watch me cut this one, I ain't gonna have you watch through the other side, but I think one side's enough to where you see that what it does. And I'll trim this up a little bit right here, make it straight, and should be good to go. Okay, I finally found a place for the camera to sit, but as you can see, I got this one dotted out already. All the way, basically what you did up here, all the way down, and you're going to come across here, and this plastic tab in there, that's what it looks like. This is off of my door. It fits right in there like that, basically somehow like that. But you're going to remove this whole tab because you want the bottom of the hinge to be exposed so you can actually get to it real easy. It doesn't do anything for the structure. It's just, you know, cut straight across there and you're done. So once you get this out, but I'm not going to bore you with it. Take your time. I'm going to cut this out, and then when we come back, this will be already cut out, and we're going to cut the speaker wire. We're going to take the pins out, and that'll be the end of this video, and then we'll do the install of the bronze bushings and the quick pins. So I'll be right back, and this will be all cut out for you. Alright guys, I told you this would be all cut out by the time we come back. This lower tab we're going to take out after we get the door out. I already took out this bottom little bastard right there. That one, I got the bottom one to do yet. This is what I want to show you, why you need my quick pins that grab the door. As you can see, there's a little black dot on that. Okay, watch. That pin is not moving, so all your wear point is on the door hinge where there is no bushing at all. Let's do the bottom one. I just put, see? Neither one of these pins are moving with the bushing. The bushing is out of play because that pin is not rotating with the door. So that's why you need the quick pins. It grabs a hold of the back side of that hinge, and this door, you can see it's bouncing a little bit. That's all hinge. That's all door hinge. This machine, let me start the key there and show you. It's got 172 miles on it. Okay? 172 miles, and this pin is not working the way it should, and you are wearing out your door hinge. Try and get a real good look at it. Alright, that's why I made these pins, and everybody should have them. So let me get this door off, and yeah, we'll continue the other video. Alright guys, here we go. I finally got that last pin out of the bottom there. Well, those little, yeah, I invented a couple new swear words trying to get that bottom one out of there. This will come out after we get the door off, but I do have the pins pulled. They're probably stuck in the bushings, so I'm going to set the camera up and see if I can get this door off, and you can watch me do it. Okay, I got them off the bottom bushings, and this is the easy part where you just put your finger in and pull up and just keep filtering them forward until you get the pin out. Okay, there's the bottom one, or top one. Here's the bottom one. Just keep pulling it up until you get it out. Now the door will just come right off. Alright, yeah, let's take a look at this door side, because it was given a lot of movement up there, and these bushings actually were stuck in there pretty good. So this is going to be a good machine to make sure mine fit, because I made them just a little bit oversized to fit in there. So yeah, there you go. These are them plastic ones that are wore out, but clearly these weren't wore out because these pins were not moving inside these bushings, and they are very, very tight. Yeah, they're real tight. There's no movement whatsoever in there. All the movement was in the hinge side of the door where there is no bushing. So one thing I want you to keep in mind is these little ears, you can move those, and be careful. And that's pretty much the end of the trimming the doors out. And like I said, I'm just going to take this little tab off to gain access to the bottom of the hinge. So, and if you want to try and not trim out as much just to gain access to this, you're more than welcome to. I found out it's a lot easier to guide the pin down in the bottom section of this hinge. So anyway, okay, this is the end of this video. This is how you trim out the doors. Easy to take off, easy to put on. The next video we're going to show how to install my bronze bushings in here and show you how the quick pins work.